Good evening. Tonight on Simply Raw News, we bring you a shocking expose that has rocked the city of Maplewood to its core. Whitmer Frankfurter Farm, 42nd, a wealthy and respected import-export mogul who was on the verge of becoming Maplewood's next mayor, has been arrested in connection with an international human trafficking operation. The man, once praised for his sharp suits, generous campaign donations, and community charm, has now been exposed as the mastermind behind a dark and disturbing underground network. For years, Frankfurter Farm operated a successful import-export business out of the Maplewood Industrial District, known for bringing in luxury cars, spices, rare antiques, and supposedly creating local jobs. But behind the shipping containers and the diplomatic smiles was a criminal empire trafficking in young women, most of them in their early 20s. Many of these women had been reported missing from small towns across the region. Until now, no one knew where they had gone. That all changed when an anonymous tip led authorities to a private hangar Frankfurter Farm had leased under a shell corporation. What they found inside stunned even the most seasoned investigators. Falsified passports, sedatives, international shipping logs, and disturbing video footage suggesting the young women were being held and transported like cargo. Whitmer Frankfurter Farm had just launched his campaign for mayor. Slick ads, glowing endorsements, and a promise to make Maplewood thrive again had positioned him as the forerunner. Residents across the city, business owners, church leaders, and even high school teachers, they were proudly wearing Frankfurter Farm 26 pins and attending his rallies. But when the truth broke, support turned to outrage. Angela Knox said this.
I voted for this man. I even hosted a fundraiser for him at my restaurant. To know he is doing this the whole time makes me sick.
According to Police Chief Jerome Tate, Frankfurter Farm had been under quiet investigation for over 6 months. We had to be careful, Tate said. This man had money, reach, and the public's trust. We could not afford to tip him off too early. But once we had enough, we moved in fast. Frankfurter Farm was arrested during a lavish campaign dinner at the Sterling County Club. As guests raised their glasses to toast his upcoming election, federal agents swarmed the venue and took him into custody. He's now facing multiple federal charges, including kidnapping, human trafficking, fraud, conspiracy, and obstruction of justice. Prosecutors say more charges could be added as the case unfolds. Frankfurter Farm is being held without bail at a federal detention facility, and sources say he's not cooperating. Meanwhile, the search continues for some of the missing women, and community healing is only just beginning. As one former supporter put it, Whitmer Frankfurter Farm had us fooled, but now we know better. Evil wears a good suit sometimes. This has been a Simply Raw News exclusive. We'll continue to follow this developing story and bring you updates as they come in. Stay aware, stay smart, and never be afraid to ask questions. Simply Raw News.
Live from Simply Raw News, this is your 6 o'clock report. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Starchild Sinclair, and tonight's top story takes us to the heart of downtown Atlanta, where one rising rock soul fusion band has fallen apart in spectacular fashion. This isn't your average creative differences breakup, ladies and gentlemen. No, this is betrayal. This is destruction. This is the Fifth Avenue Saints, and they've just lost everything. Let's break it down. The Fifth Avenue Saints, a five-man band based out of East Atlanta's Edgewood neighborhood, had been building buzz for the past 2 years. Their gritty mix of classic rock, southern soul, and neo-funk had earned them a dedicated following. Let's take a look at the lineup. Jermaine J.J. Walker, 33, lead singer, known for his raspy, emotional vocals. Trayvon, 29, lead guitarist, the heart of the band's sound. Zay Kingston, 30, bassist, quiet but deadly with a groove. Dion Riley, 28, keys and synths. He also handled most of their mixing. Darius Diggy Fulton, 27, drummer, the youngest but most vocal member of the group. Earlier this summer, the Saints had just signed a 3-album recording contract with Red Rebel Records, a label known for launching indie artists and turning them into global superstars. Everything looked like it was about to take off until they crashed and burned. Trouble started creeping in when band equipment began mysteriously disappearing from the rehearsal studio. First, a vintage Gretsch snare, then a Fender Stratocaster that belonged to Trey's late uncle. At first, the band blamed management, a storage mix-up, a burglary maybe? But when Zay installed a cheap $40 security camera in the rehearsal studio on Boulevard Avenue, the truth came out. On the gritty footage, at 2:30 a.m. on a rainy Tuesday, Jermaine J.J. Walker, the face, the voice, the front man, was caught red-handed loading a keyboard and mic stand into the back seat of a powder blue Corolla. It turns out that the equipment was sold the next morning at a local pawn shop for $112 and a pack of rolling papers. Sources close to the band say JJ had been struggling behind the scenes with a relapse into a crack cocaine addiction, a problem he had battled in his late 20s before joining the Saints. In a statement from former tour manager Carla Mendez, he had cleaned up, or so he thought. But once the money came in, so did the old demons. He started missing rehearsals, getting skinny, and lying. When Red Rebel Records found out, they immediately pulled the plug on the contract, leaving the band not only unsigned, but also on the hook for studio costs and promo fees that were already spent. This is where the story takes a dark turn. In what police are calling an emotional retaliation assault, the remaining 4 members confronted JJ at the rehearsal studio last Saturday around 11:45 p.m. Witnesses say the confrontation escalated quickly. Shouting turned to pushing, then punches, then boots. By the time police arrived, called in by a neighbor who had heard, quote, what sounded like a rock slide in a blender, JJ was barely conscious, bloodied, and missing 3 teeth. Paramedics rushed him to Grady Memorial Hospital, where he's in stable condition, but according to police reports, is unrecognizable. Trey, Zay, Dion, and Darius were all taken into custody and later released on bail pending assault charges. Their attorney claims it was not premeditated, but an emotional reaction to months of deception and loss. As of today, the Fifth Avenue Saints are officially disbanded. The band's Instagram was wiped clean except for one post and a black screen with 3 words in white block letters. He sold us. Meanwhile, J.J. Walker's lawyer said he will not press charges and is seeking treatment and spiritual healing. This is more than just a band breakup. It's a lesson in loyalty, addiction, and the high cost of fame. Because when the spotlight gets hot and the pressure builds, even brothers can turn on each other. For Simply Raw News, I'm Starchild Sinclair. Stay tuned, stay sharp, and remember, the music business ain't for the weak. Hey, Chuck.
Hello, I'm Mandolin. Senior Executive Producer and Videographer of Simply Raw News. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We look forward to keeping you entertained. Good night.